Okay guys, welcome to the CSS course. Last video we talked about CSS colors and CSS backgrounds. Today we'll be talking about CSS borders, margins and paddings. Okay, so first thing, let's create our folder in our CSS course folder. Okay, let's call it CSS borders. Okay, all right, so inside this CSS borders folder we'll create our HTML document index.html. Okay, after creating our index.html, next thing we need to do is create our style sheet. Let's call it styles.css. okay, then in our index.html, let's create our boiler code using the shortcut html:5. Okay, then the next thing we need to do is to link our style sheets. All right, I've already gone through all this process, that I'm fast with it. Okay, let's see rel style sheets. Make sure you type this correctly so there won't be an error. Then href styles.css, which is the name of our style sheets. Okay, then close the link tab. All right, so today we'll be talking about CSS border, CSS margin and CSS pattern. So the first thing we need to talk about is CSS border. So CSS border properties allows you to specify the style, the width and the color of an element border. All right, so let me show you what it means. All right, so let's create a p tag. So let me create a div. Okay, and in that div, let's create an h1 tag which says CSS border. Okay, all right, so in our style sheets, come to your style sheets, let's target the div. You know what, let's give this a class so we can target h1. Let's say header. Okay, and come here, dot header. All right, open your bracket, then you write our style in it. So we say border width, that is the size, the width of your border. Okay, the thickness, let's say the thickness. Okay, so let's say 2 pixels. All right, then the next thing we can give is border style. All right, that is the way you want your style, your border to be. All right, you can see there are different options here: dashed, dotted, double, groove, none, onset. But let's click on solid. It is the basic one. Then border color, that is the color of your border. Okay, let's say blue. All right, so let's see what we have now in the browser. Open your live server. Also guys, if you don't have this live server, make sure you go to the extension tab here and check for live server. Okay, all right, so you can install this. Okay, when you install it, then to show, if you show underneath, okay, then you can use it. Right, so let's get back to our code. Make sure you are on the index.html, sorry, before you launch the live server. Make sure you are on the index document. So don't launch it inside the style sheets. All right, so I believe it should be launching now. Okay, so you can see this is the border. All right, but there's one important thing I need to tell you about, which is the shorthand way of writing our border. Okay, so this is very too long, and this is not a good way of writing your border in CSS. Okay, so let me comment this out. Sorry, let me comment it for reference purposes. Okay, so the better way of writing border is using this shorthand. Let's just say border. Okay, And the first value of the border is the border width. So you can specify your border width, let's say 3 pixels. The next value is the border style, solid. Okay, then the next one is the color, blue. Okay, now let's check it. You can see it is still the same thing. So this is just the better way. You can see this, all these 3 lines, we compacted it into just one line. Okay, this is the border shortcut. You can put a comment and say, sorry, border shortcuts. Oh no, border shorthand, I mean. Okay, all right. So I believe you understand. Okay, guys. So the next thing we're talking about is CSS margin and paddings. Okay, so CSS margin property are used to create space around elements outside of any defined border. Okay, so let's put some margins okay around this div. Okay, so let's target this, let's say div. Remember, it's just an element, it's not a class name, so we're not putting any dots. Okay, so margin, let's say margin top of 2 pixels, margin bottom of 2 pixels, margin left of 2 pixels, margin right of 2 pixels. So let's see what we have in the browser. Okay, so you can see there is a margin left of 2 pixels, margin top of 2 pixels, margin right, and margin bottom. Okay, so but as you will expect, there is a shorthand for margin also. This is also a long cut of writing margin. So let's comment this for reference purpose. All right, so margin shortcuts, you just say margin and 2 pixels. So when you come back, it's still the same. So guys, what if our margin top is supposed to be 3 pixels and margin bottom, let's say margin top and margin bottom supposed to be 3 pixels, and margin left and margin right should be 2 pixels. Okay, so the way we do that is we say 3 pixels. This 3 pixels is for top and bottom. Okay guys, so this 3 pixels is for top and bottom, and this 2 pixels is for left and right. When you come to the browser, you can see 2 pixels, 2 pixels, 3 pixels, 3 pixels. Okay, what about if we want different value for each margins, each sides of the margins? Okay, let's say margin top should be 3 pixels. Okay, right 5 pixels. I'll explain this. 4 pixels and 6 pixels. Okay, so what this is saying is this is the order. Okay, the top is 3 pixels, the right is 5 pixels, bottom 4 pixels, left 6 pixels. So let's put a comment here so you can remember. The order is top, right, bottom, left. So let's come to the browser now. So you can see this one is bigger than this. Okay, so let me put, so you can understand, let me put the larger margin for the right. Let's say 15 pixels. Okay, you can see the difference. All right, you can see the difference. This is 15 pixels, while this is 4 pixels, 6 pixels. Okay, so the next thing we'll talk about is paddings. All right, so paddings is used to create space around an element content, okay, inside any defined border. So that means we can create a padding inside each one border. So let me show you what padding is. All right, so instead of going through this padding top, padding bottom, just like the margin, you can just use the shortcut straight away. So let's say padding of 5 pixels. So when you come here, you see there's a padding. So the padding are the spaces inside all this border. Okay, let me give it a bigger pattern so you can understand perfectly. Let's say 50 pixels. You can see there are the spaces inside this border. Why margins are spaces outside border? So that is what you need to understand. Paddings are spaces inside the border. Okay, so just like this, just like margin, the shortcut for different values, okay, is still the same: top, right, bottom, and left. Let's say 20, 15 pixels, 20 pixels, 15 pixels. So this is saying 20 pixels top, 15 pixels right, 20 pixels bottom, and 15 pixels left. Okay, you can see. Okay guys, so in conclusion, CSS borders allows you to specify the styles, width, color of an element border. Okay, and we talked about the shortcuts of writing border, which is the most preferred way. Okay, and we talked about margins and paddings. Margins are used to create space around the element border outside the element border, but paddings are used to create space around the element content inside of any defined borders. Okay, I will like the video and want more content like this, you can subscribe and watch the next video on this series. Thank you.